What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, talking today about the Atari VCS, because this system still kind of confuses me. After a strange IndieGoGo, a lot of controversy about if this system is really going to have a prototype, and even stuff like a hidden lawsuit as to who technically owns the system itself. I mean, this console, to be quite honest, it seems like a dumpster fire. I still don't even believe that it's actually going to come out, but now they just released this new press release, which I want to talk to you about today. This is an article over on comicbook.com, and I'm a little bit shocked by the price, the release dates, and pretty much everything involving the games. This system seems like it is going to be a legendary catastrophe. Now, before we get into this, be sure to smash that subscribe button. This channel has been blowing up recently. I really want to try and hit 200,000 subscribers this year. Thank you everybody for the support, the likes, and the great comments. But now, let's try and dive into this mess. Atari's new VCS system will cost nearly $400. Oh my gosh, I'm still just, I actually, before I started recording, I read this article twice, and even now, I'm still completely just shocked that they're trying to sell this system for $400. After a number of delays, the Atari VCS will finally release later this year, bringing a mix of modern technology with an old-school aesthetic. Like other retro console releases, this system will offer plenty of classic games, but the VCS 800 will actually feature a much more robust package. Billed as a PC console hybrid, the Atari VCS will offer never-before-seen releases like Missile Command Recharged. Okay, let's pause for a second. This is BS. I think them trying to sell this as a console PC hybrid is completely misleading. I mean, I've seen a lot of budget systems. This is something that a lot of fans actually have really gotten me into the idea of, which is that you get a system like a PC that's really weak, it doesn't have a lot of RAM, it doesn't have like a big storage space, and you fill it with like ROMs and emulators, and then you just hook it up to a living room TV. That way you can have like every single Super Nintendo game and Genesis game all in one package. I've seen those before, and yes, those are kind of like a mix of PC and console hybrid. The Atari VCS, though, sounds like it's going to be so dramatically underpowered, this thing's not going to be running Minecraft. Like, just for a second, I already pulled this up. This is the game that they're trying to sell you on. This is Missile Command Recharged, the game that they're acting like is going to be some sort of stellar masterpiece. Let's take a look at some of this gameplay. When you look at this, at all are you completely blown away? Are you looking at this like, oh good, an upgrade system? Let's look at some of this amazing gameplay. Oh, look at this amazing gameplay. Isn't this worth $400? I'll be honest, this game looks so freaking lame. If I got this for free on my cell phone, I still probably wouldn't play it. Now let's get back to that article. Here we go. Unfortunately, all these extras come with a cost. The 8GB version of the system will release for a surprising $399. That $399 offers some stuff inside the box. Buyers will receive 2 controllers, 1 Classic Joystick, as well as a modern controller. The Classic Joystick looks like the iconic original, but will also incorporate new features including rumble, LED lights, and a second fire button. Okay, that's nice. But for $400, I'm not going to be able to get over this price tag. 8 gigs. 8 gigs for $400. I would rather buy a terrible pre-built PC from Walmart. I would rather buy a PlayStation 3 for like $60. I'd rather buy a 3DS for like $80 with some games. $400 for the Atari VCS. All right. Both controllers are wireless and rechargeable and will be compatible with PC games. The system will also have Atari Vault built in, offering more than 100 original Atari games. The system uses Atari World, a Linux-based OS, but users will be able to install other operating systems. Okay, so hackers are going to enjoy this, except for the fact that there's no space, like there's no power, there's nothing in the system itself. This is so overpriced for how tiny the package is going to be. While the Atari VCS 800 will definitely appeal to some gamers, the $400 price point seems like it will make the console a very tough sell. It certainly doesn't help that many gamers are already planning to buy a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X later this year. Honestly, this is such a major point to hit. Right now, there's a lot of rumors going around about the price of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X because Sony and Microsoft still haven't given us an official number. They haven't come out and said specifically, this is what's going on. So people are kind of just throwing out some numbers, and a lot of analysts and stuff have predicted that the PlayStation 5 is probably going to be about $500, and the Xbox Series X is probably going to be like $400, or maybe have a budget version that's like $400 even. Okay, so that sounds great. If my choices are getting the budget version of the Xbox Series X or an Atari box, there is no way in hell that I am ever getting an Atari box. Like, even looking at this picture, like, okay, this art is interesting. Nobody is going to get this. Nobody is at all interested in this system for $400. Like, there's no exclusives, there's no big impact, there's no real ability to crack into this. There is no reason to play the freaking game console. Now, they are acting like if you buy this early, it's going to be great because you get $10 off, but I'm continually reminded of the Ouya. Now, some of you have probably already forgotten that this system existed, but there was a thing that existed a couple years ago called the Ouya, and at the time, this was heavily talked about. Now, when this was initially being developed, it was a Kickstarter. It's actually still one of the most successful Kickstarters ever, like financially. And the idea behind it was that Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they're the giants. They're the big three. They're the people that are out there making the games. They're trying to advertise stuff. And the concept was basically, let's be the underdogs. Let's make a thing where anybody can try and hack this. Anybody can tap into it. You could just stream movies with it. The Ouya was purposefully underpowered to keep prices low. This thing cost $100 brand new, and it still managed to completely fail. Even with that incredibly low price tag, even with actually having some interesting ideas packed into it, the Ouya completely bombed because it didn't have games. Again and again, the biggest lesson we've learned throughout gaming history now is that exclusives actually matter. The reason you're trying to get people to come into your ecosystem and enjoy buying products and celebrating each of your major projects is exclusives. The fact that people still try and discount the fact that this stuff matters. Like, exclusives are what get people hyped. They're what get gamers addicted to playing your particular device. And if you don't manage to find something that's going to be fun and accessible, even if you are dirt cheap like the Ouya, nobody's going to stick around while you try and figure things out. This console, in my opinion, is still one of the biggest catastrophes when it comes to just financial losses. And now the Atari VCS is definitely walking in its footsteps. Now, I want to end this video with a special message directly to the people that maybe they're just fans of Atari and they randomly stumbled upon this video. I am begging you, do not pre-order this system. And the reason I say that is because this seems like it could be a little bit of a scam. Now, I'm just throwing that out allegedly because stuff about this seems incredibly fishy. I don't think that Atari VCS even wants to sell. They've made so much money already with the IndieGoGo and a lot of their other failed projects that I don't think that they want to sell this system. They're not concerned with it. They're not spending money on game development. They're not trying to license stuff. This is just the remnants of Atari trying to make some really easy money. If you look at their freaking Twitter account, you can see that most of these tweets they have and stuff are getting like 20 likes and stuff. That is because there is absolutely no interest in this product, and Atari themselves doesn't even care about advertising it. This is a giant dumpster fire, and I want you to save your money. $400 could buy so much better stuff, so many more fun adventures, and I mean, no matter what, anything you buy is going to be better than whatever the heck this thing is trying to be. But these are just my off-the-cuff thoughts. What do you think? Are you excited for the Atari VCS, or are you going to buy a real game console in December when this thing actually drops? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. I'm still telling you this. I genuinely do not believe for a second that this thing is coming out December 24th, 2020. Maybe 2021, but this ain't happening. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.